Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty. So I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show. And I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love. This is the transfiguration of the new you.
Hello, beloved. I'm Monica Bermudez. I am your host for this podcast. Welcome back to another episode. This episode is all about the Sirius energy and the Starseed activation in connection to it. And I want to dedicate a time on the Sirius connections as Starseeds. So if you feel that connection or are curious, this will activate your DNA to tap into your soul remembrance as you're part of your galactic inheritance. Many of our star brothers and sisters want us to remember so that we are reunited again. Toward the end of this episode, I will share 5 top signs that you are a Sirius Starseed. So I'm doing this because I also feel that we will be having extraterrestrial contact soon. And it is a way of reconnecting you to your own star family. I consider extraterrestrials as our star family, and the reconnection will happen again. During the many cycles of change on this planet, we forgot that we had always had contact with extraterrestrial beings or beings from other dimension because we were in a cycle of forgetfulness and deep sleep. And as we enter a new cycle, we are waking up from this very deep sleep, and things are beginning to return to us or be restored. See, awakening is about restoration to something that already was and is within us and each and every one of us. It's a restoration of our memories of all of these connections, all of which are within your vault of Akashic records of your soul. Your higher self, which is your intuition and supernatural abilities, knows this to be true, and you will feel it in your heart of knowingness and deep wisdom. And as we are being restored and remembering, we also bring the lessons of wisdom of the lives we live to experience hardship, downfall, and challenges, only to rise again like phoenixes from the ashes of old versions of ourselves, making us stronger than ever before. Every pain and every hurt we ever endured was for this moment to rise with this greater strength and much wiser way to look at life. We also have the memories within us of the civilizations of rising and falling that is so deep-seated in an unspoken fear is in us too, as a distorted energy within the quantum field. And it all has its purpose. I recently heard something from Bashar as channeled via Daryl Anka that resonated with me because of my personal experience with it. And it's something that I've been teaching about for a very long time now, way before I even heard that Bashar said this. So, and it is the basis of my teachings and the work with the shadow aspects as well. So I'm just making this statement as a double emphasis for us, a double confirmation, let's just say. For those who don't know, Bashar is a future aspect of us or future humans as, as they consider us to be their ancestors. So Bashar said, make your fear your friend. So embrace your fear. So quite simply, but yet challenging because we often spend our time fighting our fear or ignoring it. To elaborate on this, fear is an opportunity to tap into the unexplored areas within you. And this is part of the wisest and most powerful phrase, spoken, which is know thyself. And this phrase has been around since ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, and I feel that it goes even further into the other ancient civilizations that you don't hear much about, except maybe on my podcast. So, this by itself deserves its own episode because it's a very deep wisdom, and it is the basis and foundations to all soul purposes. I'm speaking of knowing thyself. So, don't be afraid to face your fear. Don't be afraid about your own fear. So, fear will manifest in different shadow aspects within us. Hence, all of this goes back to our origins, which are galactic for most of us, especially drawn to these topics. So, in one of my previous episodes, I talked about the Lyrans and provided 5 signs in connection to being a Lyran starseed. Lyrans were one of the original starseeds for Earth, and I didn't realize how much of my roots with them until they started showing up in different channels to connect with me more. I felt more serious, but awakening to this other level of me in connection to the Lyra was very deeply embedded that I now feel it. And there is a connection with Lyra and Sirius that I feel is a collaboration, and Sirius assisted them when they had lost their original home planet. So, as one of the other star seeds of this planet, the Sirians were the ones in connection to our human evolution as well. They also played their part in the genetic engineering of our DNA, and in some ways, I do feel that I was part of this genetic engineering too. And as I've mentioned, I've always felt this deep connection with the Sirians. So, in fact, during one of my most profound galactic experiences, when I broke free from generational long ancestral cycle, my solar plexus portal activated so deeply that I teleported to Sirius. And I clearly saw a lion person, a humanoid being. And before that, I didn't even know they existed for real. I've heard of them through the temples of ancient Egypt, but never thought anything of it. So I clearly saw this being and immediately felt the energy as the Syrian energy. And then it was a very warm feeling as well, like a feeling of coming home. And so this I saw this being also smiling at me, and I also felt this very deep connection through my third eye. And so it was like really just like vibrating. So it was a very beautiful experience. And he looked like he was some kind of scientist as well from this planet of Sirius. And I felt that I had this connection with this being that I had known him, for some time. Um, so that was quite a galactic journey that I had never experienced before. And I share this memory because it's so important we remember galactic roots as we near contact with the intention to ease the surprise. So, in Sirius, in being all serious, there aren't just humanoid beings like the lion people. I also feel there are dragons and dolphins and merbeings and other aquatic human looking beings that look like us. And I will say that there's truth to what so many of the indigenous tribes say about legends and folklore and mythology. And for instance, the Dogon tribe, which are people of Mali, Africa, have a long-standing tradition of knowledge about Sirius, particularly in its binary nature, Sirius A and Sirius B. And according to their mythology, beings from Sirius, known as the Nomo, came to Earth in ancient times and interacted with them. So the Nomos are often described as these amphibious beings or half human, half fish, suggesting that the Sirius beings might have some aquatic or fluid-like characteristics in their mythos. The indigenous people of Australia, in particular the Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders people, have rich, diverse spiritual and cosmological beliefs that includes references to the stars, celestial bodies, and their connection to the spiritual and physical world. And one of the most significant stars in these traditions is Sirius, which plays an important role in many Aboriginal cultures though its specific interpretation varies among the different tribes and regions. So Sirius is called the dog star because it is the brightest star in the night sky and forms the dominant part of the Canis major constellation. This name is significant because many Aboriginal cultures associate Sirius with dogs, particularly the dingo, which is a wild dog native to Australia. And the relationship between Sirius and the dingo is central in some of the Aboriginal stories, where this creature is thought to be the earthly counterpart of the star. So, in mythology of the Yolngu people from the Northern Territory, the Dinawan is a spirit animal, which is another name that they have for the dingo or the dog. Is a spirit animal linked to the dog star. And according to one creation story, the Dinawan chased a woman across the sky, and this chase created the shape of the Milky Way. So while Sirius, the dog star, is the celestial form of the Dinawan. So anyways, just reading some of these legends and tales from some of their stories, because I really do feel there are some truths to them. So Sirius is also associated with ancestral beings in some of the Aboriginal cultures. Some stories describe spiritual entities or sky beings that reside in the Sirius star system and are said to be connected with the creation of life on Earth. And these beings are often described as having come from the stars to teach the first humans, sharing knowledge of the land, seasons, and rituals. In these beliefs, Sirius might be viewed as a source of cosmic wisdom and spiritual guidance, similar to the way other cultures view star systems as holding advanced spiritual knowledge. So the concept of dream time is central to a lot of the Aboriginal spirituality and refers to the timeless ancestral realm of creation and spiritual existence. Some Aboriginal groups believe that the stars, including Sirius, are not just physical objects, but representations of ancestral spirits. And these stars are seen as watchers or guides that remain in the sky overseeing the land and the people below. In this sense, Sirius could be interpreted as a home of powerful ancestral beings guiding and protecting the earth. So many Aboriginal people have stories that describe celestial beings coming from the stars to interact with humans in a distant past. And these beings are often portrayed as ancestors or spiritual guides, and their connection to Sirius can be interpreted as symbolic or spiritual link rather than a literal one. Some Aboriginal stories suggest that beings from the stars taught early humans how to live, hunt, and connect with the land. And these beings are often seen as originating from the skies and may be linked to star systems such as Sirius. Sirius, in this case, is not just a star, but a portal to higher knowledge, wisdom, and the spiritual realm. And one thing I have always admired about the indigenous tribes is their connection to everything. They have felt that connection with the stars, nature, and the planet, and the creatures. And even their ceremonies, they include the energy of the star movements as part of their rituals and ceremonies. This is something inherited from ancient civilizations like Lemuria and Atlantis. And for that, they gave respect to one another. And I feel I have a lot of indigenous roots like the Mayans. And I'm starting to feel the connection with other indigenous groups. I feel the Aboriginals have deep connections with Mu, the lost continent of Lemuria, and another way of saying it, one of the ancient civilizations of this planet. And so I feel there are a lot of their stories and mythology stem from these ancient civilizations. But there's more. According to the ancient Egyptian connection in regards to Sirius, ancient cultures like the Egyptians revered the star systems and associated with the goddess Isis. In this context, Sirius beings are often linked to divine wisdom, higher knowledge, and cycles of life and death. While they are not always described in physical appearance, they are often symbolized by the goddess Isis, who is depicted as a woman with a throne like crown and an ankh symbol an ankh, which is a cross with a circle, it's a circle on top of a cross, which represents eternity. And aside from Isis, there's also a connection with other goddess beings like Goddess Sekhmet, which is the lion goddess of ancient Egypt. So let's dive into the top 5 signs you are a Sirius Starseed. So if you feel this deep connection to the cosmos, an affinity for certain star systems, or a strong sense of having a higher purpose, you might resonate with being a Sirius Starseed. Sirius Starseeds are sold, particularly from Sirius A or Sirius B, and have incarnated on Earth for specific missions related to spiritual awakening, healing, and the evolution of consciousness. I was just kind of laughing because just as I was like talking about this, Siri just turned on. So I guess, the whole connection with Siri and Sirius, there's a connection there somehow, that I don't feel there's a coincidence for the naming of some of our technology. So here are the top 5 signs you may be a Sirius Starseed. Number 1, and this one is so key, I feel, for all of them, and I'll share why. So number 1, deep connection to water. And as I'm speaking this right now, it's like pouring down rain. It's like water, everywhere. So Sirius is often associated with water, those in ancient mythology, such as the Egyptian goddess Isis, associated with Sirius, and in modern interpretations of Sirius beings as being these peaceful aquatic entities. Water represents purification, healing, and spiritual flow. So diving deeper into this sign, you may feel that it's a profound sense of peace, connection, or restoration when you're near water, in water, or even on the water, like the oceans, lakes, or rivers. You may feel an intuitive bond with aquatic creatures or marine life and have a deep emotional connection to the natural world. You might be drawn to work with water in your life, such as through healing practices like hydrotherapy or working in environmental conservation, particularly in areas related to water ecosystem. So from my personal experience, just want to share this. Through one of my channeling experiences with other channelers, I've been told that I was one of the original Lemurian beings, but I started in the oceans and I was very attached to the ocean. And then I left the water life to come on land to be one of the first Lemurian physical beings. And I do feel this very much in my heart to be true. And I am remembering this now because I do have a lot of love for water. I love being near the water, being on the water, or being in the water. So definitely it resonates so much. I feel it in my heart. And as a Lemurian priestess, as I'm remembering certain aspects, through the energy of things, I worked with many creatures from the waters as well. And I made, I always kept these friendship and connection with the Mer people. So even now I feel their presence even when I'm in any water, whether that is the lake, the river, or the ocean. And I even feel their energy when, by the ponds that I have here in my house. So anyways, just wanted to share that experience. So key, right, to how we have, this part of us that is that connection to that star seed without necessarily being aware, just yet, but these will help to activate that remembrance in you. So number 2, the sense of cosmic purpose and mission. So many of the Sirius star seeds feel that they are on Earth for a higher purpose or great mission, often connected to helping humanity evolve spirituality, socially or environmentally, and this sense of purpose can be driving force in their lives, even if they're not sure exactly what the mission entails. So diving deeper into the sign, you may feel different or like you're not entirely from this planet, often sensing that you've come here for a specific reason or mission. You have a strong desire to help humanity, spread love, heal, or teach, often feeling drawn to the work that involves spiritual growth, healing, or consciousness raising. there's an overwhelming sense of homesickness or longing for a place you can't quite describe, which you may associate with the Sirius system. This really hits home for me in resonance personally. So I have always felt this way growing up. And in fact, all of these points that I make, as a top 5 signs for star seeds, for Sirius Starseed. So I continue, like, I feel like this all resonates with me very much. So the third one, the high sensitivity and empathy. Sirius star seeds are often described as highly sensitive beings, empathetic to the emotions and energies of others. This sensitivity can extend to animals, nature, and the collective suffering of humanity. And going deeper into this, you have a heightened emotional sensitivity and can easily pick up the feelings of others, sometimes to the point of feeling overwhelmed. You feel a deep empathy for animals, particularly dogs, or have a sense for connection to them, as Sirius is often linked to canine energy in certain spiritual traditions. And so, from my personal experience, the dog energy only started coming up very strong after my cat passed away. And I started dreaming almost every day with dogs. And I've never owned a dog my whole life. I've always grown up with cats or birds, as other creatures, but never a dog. And I had no desire to get a dog as my next companion because I knew it was a lot of work with more care. But the energy kept getting stronger. So I really felt called my next companion to be a dog. So my new companion now is a dog. So I do feel she was meant to be with me now. So, this is just a personal experience that with that connections with Sirius. So in other, feelings with this, you may be highly intuitive or experiencing strong gut feelings or psychic impressions and may be drawn to the energy healing, counseling, or other nurturing professions. And the fourth thing about top signs, love for higher knowledge or spiritual wisdom. So Sirius is often depicted as a source of advanced knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual understanding. Sirius Starseeds tend to be naturally drawn to higher teachings, esoteric knowledge, and cosmic wisdom. And diving deeper into this, you feel a pull towards subjects like astrology, metaphysics, quantum physics, ancient civilizations, or mystical traditions. You may have an innate understanding of spiritual concepts, and often without formal study, you feel that there's more to reality than meets the eye. So, your interests include topics like star consciousness, energy healing, sacred geometry, and other practices that explore the mysteries of the universe. And they all sound like me. It's like I am telling you everything that I am about me with these signs. But anyways, I do feel that some of you do deeply resonate with this. So number 5 and the last one, feeling a deep connection to the stars, especially Sirius. So Sirius star seeds often experience a deep and explicable connection to the stars, particularly Sirius, the dog star. And this connection can manifest a sense of home when gazing at the night sky or a profound understanding of cosmic patterns. So going deeper into this, you feel a sense of wonder or longing when looking at the night sky, especially when you focus on Sirius or the constellation of Canis Major. You may have a vivid dreams or, outwardly places, star systems, or beings, particularly those associated with the Sirius system. There's an inner knowing that you've come from the stars, and sometimes you feel homesick for a place or time beyond Earth. A lot of deep, deep, deep information here. So, in summary, though, you may often feel a deep connection to water, experience ongoing sense of cosmic purpose, heightened empathy, drawn to higher knowledge, and feel a special bond with the stars, especially Sirius, and have experienced profound intuitive abilities, emotional sensitivity, and a calling to help elevate humanity through spiritual work and healing practices, a strong mission calling. So these signs are not absolute, and not every person who feels connected to Sirius will experience all of them. But if several of these traits resonate with you, it may be an indication that you have this connection with the Sirius star system and a role to play in the awakening of the healing of humanity. So, is this you? Or do you feel someone around you connects with this very much? So, would love to hear your comments on this, and do make sure to share with others, especially if you feel they connect with this very much. So, I do feel also that Cosmic Master Jeshua and Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, amongst so many others, also came from Sirius. That is in connection, a connection that, I have with them, and I feel that so many have as well. And, there's truth to what the indigenous tribes were saying about the ancestrals and the roots and the connection, because I feel like they are part of these ancestries who have been overseeing humanity in different ways, coming on earth in human form as, ascended beings, ascended masters to assist the collective in their own spiritual evolution and awakening that is occurring right now. So very accelerated for everybody. So with that, I leave you for now. Again, always be open to exploring yourself, rediscover you, know thyself, and you will remember. With love, and until the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.